Hi guys, I am Chamal Khalilov. Today I am going to talk you about how to use the Sqlmap tool and what's the SQL injection. Also, we will do a CTF challenge to check the SQL injection. Let's start what's the SQL injection. As you can see, there are so many types of the SQL injection, and SQL injection is the type of the vulnerability that has been occurred in the database part of the system. And in the here I had just this is the URL that I had typed from myself. For example, they think that we have a website and it has an ID parameter, and to check the SQL injection we could just simply do something like that and click. If it has the SQL injection appeared, then we could see that it's an SQL injection vulnerability. But there's one thing to mention, that there's a blind SQL injection method that even though if the error has been occurred, you will not be able to see it on the user interface part of the website, because the blind SQL injection is just doing its work on the back website's database side. And let's go to our tools. Today I'm going to show you the two tools, GSQL and Sqlmap. GSQL is the type of the tool that you will use it as a guide interface. As you can see, it's just you type just the URL. For example, I will just write example.com index.php question ID equal to 1. For example, that this is the URL, and just click and it will analyze and do these things on its own. And let's quit from this tool, and we will just in the here talk about the Sqlmap tool, because it's the most advanced tool to use. And as you can see, the Sqlmap has so many parameters. I will explain some of the most important in the here. For example, specifying URL, specifying the Google Docs, or you could even specify a request file and load that request to the Sqlmap without any problem. And also you could specify your agent, headers, cookie data, and other things in the here as well. You could anonymize yourself with the Tor proxy and do some other things as well. And these are the, for example, you could use the techniques. For example, it could be union, select, or whatever method you want, you could put and just check based on that thing. And you could even fingerprint of the database version. And also as you can see, this is the dumping part. You could specify the data, what you want to dump. For example, first we will start with the DBS, because first we should know what's the name of the databases, and then we will continue one by one. And then this is the part that, for example, you could add an operating system shell, or you could access to the operating system from the database. Also, you could access to the Windows registries and some other things, and skip the WAF. Let's continue with our test. But before the test, also I will show you some of the tamper scripts which will allow you to bypass the firewalls in the system. And as you can see, this person has been put the most important tamper scripts on the Sqlmap, and you could read all of them from the here. Also, you could just type as Sqlmap list tampers, and it will list all of the tampers with their explanation, as you can see, and then you could specify which tamper script you want. And let's start with our test. In the here, I had used the Revenge from the TryHackMe. This is the our page for the vulnerable machine, and let's look at some of the things. As you can see, there's a login page. Of course, we could do some of the bypassing in the here, but before the video I had tested this machine and it didn't work in the login page, because there are some problems in the configuration. And let's look at some parts in the here. For example, this one. As I had shown before, this is the, for example, this could be as a question mentioned, or this could be something index.php, for example. and it could be something like that as well. And this has also the SQL injection vulnerability, and now we will check this by the help of the Sqlmap. Let's first start with our simple test. We will here we will specify the URL, and then I will write the --dbs to take out the databases from the system. And in here we need to just wait some time. As you can see, it's trying many payloads to the system, and now it says that target appears 8 columns in the query. It's running its scripts, and now as you can see, it has found some of the databases. Those are the 5 databases that it could find on the system, and let's look some of them. For example, firstly I will check the Ducky incorporation. I will check what's the tables inside it, and then I want to mainly look at the system users because it could contain some of the users username and password data. Let's look at it. As you can see, there's a username, email, password, and etc. Just in here I will write the dump all to not dump it with one by one. As you can see in here, it has shown me some of the IDs, emails, company names, and etc. And even there's a big crypt hash in here, which is encrypted in the database, and also the credit card numbers. And as you can see in here, there's a flag that we could put into the TryHackMe and solve one of the challenges easily. And also just for the cracking, we need to just copy these passwords and save it in a file, and then we will use the hashcat or the John the Ripper, which program you want, and then you could enter to the system easily. Thank you for watching.